Hello, welcome to my tutorial. Today we're going to be trying to cyberpunk He-Male and Payne's avatar. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to save it. I like to put them all into a separate folder, keeps things clean because I'm going to make some stuff out of his frames. So we're going to open that GIF in Photoshop. And we're going to export it as images. Layers to files. Point to the same directory. That's why we made this directory. And let Photoshop do its thing for a second. All right. Now we're going to open up this program that I really like. It's called JPEG Glitch. It's by this guy, Jorge. You can go to his website. You can Google it. It's pretty easy to find. It's really good. It uses JavaScript to inject garbage data into the JPEG algorithm, and that results in some cool glitches. So let's load up our first frames. Photoshop numbers the frames in reverse, so I sort them in reverse order. There's frame 1. And I work with about 5 frames at a time, just to keep things kind of manageable, and so I can see which frame is which. So we have our subject. We want that skeleton, so we're going to adjust the sliders such that the skeleton is visible. Right, there's no skeleton in this frame. Haha. Joke's on me. This looks fine. We'll save this as 1 because it's our first frame. This is most of the process, is deciding what glitches to use. And that's why I like to work in 5-frame increments, because I can kind of see what the last couple have been while I'm working. Export this as 2. So frame 3 is the first frame the skeleton appears on, so we want to hopefully make it visible. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. We're not going to see it in the first frame. There's just not enough subject there to really get an impression of it. All right, there's the edge of the sword there. One of the kind of flaws with this program is it always starts you with the same initial conditions. So you kind of have to spend some time jiggering them every time you open up a document. That's fine. We don't have to be too precise about revealing our subject because for this one I'm going to end up masking out a lot of uh, the glitch frames and only showing the glitch in certain portions. So there's our first 5 frames, and then we're going to use this program called View because Photoshop tries to kind of fix our GIFs once tries to fix the JPEG when you import it. So this uh, takes the JPEG in as rough as possible, and then we save it out to PNG so that all the pixels are exactly where we want them. So we're going to start a new batch. We're going to browse to our directory. Select our first 5 frames, we're going to add them to a batch. We're going to batch into the lookin directory, and we're going to start the batch, and it's done already. So now we go back to our directory. This is in Bridge. I like Bridge because it imports stuff into Photoshop a little bit better than just Explorer and has slightly better file management stuff. And we're just going to drop them in. There's our first 5 frames. And so we're going to put each one my mouse is a little bit buggy. It keeps double clicking when I'm holding. We're going to put each one above its corresponding frame. All right, once we've done that, we can decide how we want our glitch frames to appear. This looks pretty good. Oh, this is a little too much, so we're gonna, not that, we're gonna edit the layer style so that only some of the color channels are showing. So we can take out all the color channels, we can take out some of the color channels. I like that. It's not really less glitchy, but that's fine. Here we have the first frame where our subject is coming in, but we don't really see it yet, so it's fine if it's pretty glitched. Yeah, we can see a little bit, and we can see a little bit of our subject there. That's great. On to frame 4. As you can see, there's not much difference between the glitched frame and the non-glitched frame, so we're just going to leave this one as it is. And on frame 5, we have a lot of glitch, so we're going to... Actually, frame 5, let's try a mask. So we're going to make a copy of frame 5. And then we're going to... We're going to mask out our subject. Or rather, mask it in. Mask out everything else. Nope, too much. All right, that looks pretty good. So we're going to create a layer mask. Doesn't look any different because it's the same layer. But if we switch it to transparency, oh, that should be visible here. There. Oh, and we have frame 5 visible frame one, which isn't what we want either. When you create a duplicate frame, it often makes it visible on frame one, so you have to go back to frame one and make it invisible. So now we have our mask. We're gonna enable our glitched frame, and we're gonna create a clipping mask. And look at that, just the glitch part. So then we're gonna line up it so that kind of part of our image that got distorted and moved is back where it started, and that's how I do my GIFs. If we want to see some different techniques, we can look at the same techniques. We can look at one I worked on earlier, this Big Beef City. So, breaking it down, there's our scanline layer, which is just some lines. I added some noise, and I also used a filter called Pinch, which creates a 3D effect on the layer. I set the pinch to negative, which actually means it's bulging. Technically, you can kind of use Spherize, but I don't like the look of Spherize as much as I like pinch. So yeah, I use pinch at negative 20. You don't see the results in real time. But we can change the pinch back to 0, and we can see it's not curved. Back to negative 20, it's bulged. And then we use keyframes to animate it through our animation. So we have its initial position here, its end position at the end of the animation, and Photoshop moves it for us. Under that, we have some more layer masks. This is similar to what we did before with blending, changing the channels. So we have, yeah. But that's actually a duplicate of a layer that we made that is the whole image with a wind filter on it, and then the layer mask representing the kind of tracking of a VHS, keyframe to travel upwards to the image, and then there's a duplicate of that on a 1-frame delay. That's with the blending mode, with the selective channel. So it lags a little bit behind and kind of creates a little bit more distortion. Pretty cool, right? And then when I saved it, I used a nice little palette. I like Pico 8. It gives a really retro look. It's only 16 colors. Mwah. Super good palette. What else do I do?